Hey, Sega Pluto 84 here. So yeah, I was getting ready to review another Japanese game, and yeah, Gollum Cone, I got you in mind. That Japanese import game would not like show up on VGA, and I'm so tired of having to switch TVs. I got my little mini TV right here, a little backup TV, but I want to play on this thing. And I tried the VGA switch trick and it didn't work. It's so finicky. I'm tired of it. Oh, Qbert, which is I'm working on right now. I had to do the little switch trick and luckily I got that one to work. But today we're talking Toy Racer. So I figured, hey man, that Japanese game, the universe isn't wanting me to review that right now. So why not? I was talking about doing a PAL game. Hey, why not? I only have four more, so I have six total that are retail, and so this is one of them. And this is an exclusive. We don't have this in NTSC regions, and this is my first time play testing it. In these game cases, right? This one's in pretty good pristine condition. I really like the condition of this case. It's a really good example of what the European games or the game cases look like. But yeah, because the hinges aren't broken or nothing. But like, how do you guys not crack the discs? How do you get them out? Because the cases are kind of hard to. No wonder in used condition they're always cracked up. They're always cracked. They get more cracked than regular NTSC jewel cases, right? But like these things are tenacious, aren't they? They just grab onto the disc and like there's no real good place. I guess these little side indentations are the best place to get the disc out, but maybe it's just because I'm not used to it. But yeah, these game cases, man, they are to be scrutinized, I think. What do you think, Gollum? So this is Toy Racer, and I believe that this has to be associated with Toy Commander, which is a game that has a kind of a silent community, but people pop out of the woodwork and they're like, what about Toy Commander? Now, I like Toy Commander, but I get stuck in Toy Commander because it's just a stucky game. You get far into it and then you're like, I don't know. I need to look at more walkthroughs, game facts, like I keep saying. Game facts, I don't know why people online are talking crap about game facts when I've used game facts and I still use game facts. I used it for Duke Nukem forever. Oh, which brings another point. Yeah, I'm working on another intro and I totally brought the point that I got Toe Jam Earl 3 and Sonic Heroes on Xbox Original. I got that sent to me today. So I'm excited to, well, this one's going to work on the 360, but this one doesn't. So I need to get my hands on an Xbox Original eventually. Okay. But I am working on. I got past that one part. It was Queen B. I say B, which stands for BITCH. And but I am past that part. And I was just thinking to myself that I really like kind of exploitation games because I also have. I picked this up and Leisure Suit Larry Box Office Bust. Now this game sucks, and the only reason why it sucks is because at the very end it's unforgiving. But I had a good time playing this. And I think that I played Magna Cum Laude, and I don't have that one, but I remember playing that as a kid. And kind of these hokey exploitation kind of risque games. I'm a big fan, and I would contend that the Evil Dead Fistful of Boomstick, which I played some last night, is an exploitation game as well because it's just hokey. It's that B movie humor, Evil Dead is just a franchise that's just kind of like that. And I was thinking about those Burger King games, like with the product placement, with the big bumping and stuff like that. I want to get my hands on that. It is ironic and crappy as that sounds because they're just over the top and weird. And I was thinking that because that's an exploitation game, that's why I like Stubbs the Zombie, which I'm gonna drop the case. But Stubbs the Zombie is kind of like on the same level as these games. And when it comes to, like, kind of, I guess, like, cheap cash grab games, but they have quality behind them, these are good. The only reason why Leisure Suit Larry got panned is because it outraged people, and the only reason why Duke Nukem Forever got panned is because it outraged people. But Leisure Suit Larry, I totally don't blame you if you play that whole game, then get to the very end, and then just throw it away, because it makes you mad because you invested your time in this game, and then the game slaps you in the face. But I felt like I needed to track it down again. But yeah, these are some quality games, guys. These games, yeah, I recommend. I got like a little crate that's just getting filled up, and I have some like extras. Like I have 2 copies of Dead Space, 2 copies of Max Payne. Take pictures of your games while you're shopping for games. I got 2 copies of Reckless, which I recommend this. This game is just graphically awesome, looks great, and 2 copies of Splinter Cell. And you can use a game of Splinter Cell to exploit the Xbox original somehow to do a soft mod. I'm not knowledgeable with it, but I think that it's I don't know, modding systems and stuff. You have to like mod the PS1 and mod the Xbox original, but with the Dreamcast, you don't have to play imports. You don't really have to mod the Dreamcast for anything, really. I'm trying to rack my mind of why you would want to. I guess you could. Yeah, SD card mods and stuff. You can. It's just that, I don't know, I never felt compelled to mod systems. Kind of a purist, like you, Retro Game Bookcase Reviews, man. I'm just wanting to play the original game on the original system. I think a lot of people are like that. We prefer it, but we burn games for fun because there are fun ones you can burn, and sometimes you have to because it's economical. So I'm not going to disparage anybody for burning. If you buy a Sega Dreamcast and you burn everything, it's okay. It's cool. Yeah, I'm not going to be morally objectionable. I was thinking about Phantasy Star Online 2, version 2, and just how, you know, if you look at that gameplay of what I was playing, just that Sakura character, and there's going to be more, just the elitists, just making me feel bad for something that I did months ago, which was accidentally dupe something and give it out, and they won't let me like live. So I'm just gonna wait a while and then play that game eventually. I want to get to level 200 with my character, but not worth it. We're talking about Toy Commander, and this is an epically long intro. Sorry guys, but I feel like I love this. It's kind of therapy, and plus it gives me something to be focused on. It's positive. I went outside and got some sunlight, got good exposure, like 20-30 minutes. I don't know how long I was out there drinking my coffee. I'm trying to slow down on coffee, but it's not good for adrenals, but it helps. The plumbing clears out your digestive tract. But Toy Racer, I don't know what to expect, and I think you can play this online with the Dream Pi. I don't know if you can play it online with the BBA. I guess I'll hook up the Ethernet cord and see if I can do that. I'm hesitant to play games online because it's just I came from a whole different time where we just played offline a lot, and I'm to the point where I just want to play play games. But we're reviewing games, and yeah, more PAL goodness, man. We need to make a playlist for the PAL games because I haven't done it yet. But yeah, 8 minutes and 22 seconds in. Sorry. Toy Racer. Well, strangely enough, there is no opening cinematic. Some games are just like that. Like Hello Kitty Garden Panic was like that. It won't throw you a bone. I don't know why they won't do that, because I don't know, does it cost more to just put a little opening movie in there of the gameplay? I would think it would be relatively easy. This is my first time playing it, and I'm excited about that, so that's what's up. I saw a comment just now, I think it was on the Hello Kitty review I just did, the Garden Panic, and I'm pretty sure it was you, Retro Game Bookcase Reviews, I'm pretty sure it was you, but it hides comments. I need to go into Creator Studio or something in YouTube Studio. I deleted it from some of my tablets because I was trying to get room to export a project, but I'm being more diligent with deleting old projects once I'm done uploading and exporting. Local network, I guess local. Race options, number of laps. Are you able to just pick whatever stage you want? Oh man, you can go up walls? Okay, it's going to keep you from doing it. Yeah. Huh. It kept giving me that weird noise, like, not supposed to, but, that's cool, man. I like some of that military-looking stuff. I'm guessing with steering and whatnot, it might be pretty conservative and awesome. Oh, I'm able to play now. That's so cool that you can go up walls. So this game is one of those where you have a Crazy Taxi era, and you gotta follow the Crazy Taxi era. So this game has that in common with Crazy Taxi. Am I supposed to go up this wall to get to the... You just gotta know where you're going, and that's kind of disappointing. This game is creative just like Toy Commander, but... Man, that arrow. Maybe I should have picked that first level. Let's go ahead and do that. It says abort. Interesting choice of words there, abort. I think that's what it started you off with. I'm going to do number of laps 3. Interesting that the menu sounds are like that. I feel like I'm okay with that military cargo tank thing. Okay, you can change the view with the X button. I feel better with this view. I feel like I just can gauge the environments better this way. I think B is your power-up. So, I took the pictures of the game case and, you know, the little flyer with the manual and stuff. I think it's very interesting that the little advertisements and stuff are different, and the manuals are very thick because they have different languages in them. And I took pictures of the game case and everything, and then I recorded the audio, for, the intro first thing, and yeah, I've been doing really long intros, right? Okay, Y button is changing the rear view. I don't know why you would do that. I never use that function in my racing games because I feel like it keeps me from concentrating on my steering, which I need to constantly focus on steering. It's just like in real life when you're driving. You don't want to look in the rear view mirror unless you're backing up. So it serves no purpose, really. Hey, that's cool. I did good. So I recorded the intro, then I took pictures, now I'm getting the game footage, and then I'm going to be editing the intros later. I might be doing that later tonight, but yeah, I'm going to be busy a little bit later on, so I'm trying to take advantage of my time right now. Let's put in DC84, I guess. Left trigger changed it from lowercase to caps. Start button is what you got to do to progress, because when you're in the stage select, you got to hit start instead of trying to highlight anything, really. That's cool that I was able to get first place. Huh. Is it starting me off from the same stage, or am I doing a different... If it's just making me... Well, I don't know. It does look different because it's all hazy or whatever. This must be the next stage, right? It just kind of keeps you going, which is good because you don't want to have to go back to the main menu to select your stage. I don't know. This is the same stage. They just kind of added a. This is the same stage. What is this? I thought I was able to change my track. I did this one, right? See, it gives you that sound that makes you think that you did something wrong, like you can't access it, but I was able to access stage earlier, so... Right. Where are my opposing teams? Do you have to play a different mode? This game is interesting enough to definitely play for a couple of times. I'm having fun. I think that it's interesting, it has a novelty, but it has a learning curve when it comes to the stages because of the arrow. You just have to, it's just one of those where you gotta keep playing and really learn the game.
which I need to make it a point to do that more in my games, because see, I just lost track of the arrow. That's a serious strike against this game. That it's just easy to do that, but like I said, I can't really fault the game. I guess I'm faulting myself, because you know, this game really has it going on. It's cool. It's cool that you can drive up the walls just like a kid does when they're playing toys. So I have a little you have to hold down the B button to do your little booster. I guess that you can see where the checkpoints are in the horizon. I'm just not used to looking at them, but those little pencils that stand up, that's a good way to just kind of keep your eyes just on the horizon, because with any racing game, I was about to say fighting game, you have to look in the horizon to see where you got to turn next, and that's kind of key. It's kind of like with playing pool, you kind of have to visualize how the ball is going to get hit and stuff like that. Left trigger backs up. Little tips and tricks. Do you ever just kind of imagine the geometry of how the ball's gonna bounce off the sidewalls when you're playing pool? You can kind of see how it's gonna go. You kind of see it before it happens. Okay, I seem to be doing pretty good with this racer, so I'm just gonna keep going. I got to abort because it's the only way. I'm curious to see what that stage is all about. I guess it keeps you from playing too many laps. I'm not sure if you can unlock any more, but it starts you off with 4. So I did good with that one. I think I got first place with the first one. Did pretty good with the second one. I don't know if I got first place or not. That third one, I kept losing the check marker spots or whatever, the checkpoints. Let's see what this one's all about. I guess I'll stick in that Ethernet cable, and this will be some, I've been averaging around 20 minutes or something for my reviews, and I guess this one's going to be no different. I'm not so sure if it doesn't work with my broadband adapter, I'm not going to bother to put it in with DreamPie, because I just don't want to set up a DreamPie. DreamPies are just, they take too long to boot up and whatnot. I mean, I got mine calibrated so it works and everything. It works through Raspberry Pi technology, But yeah, this game's pretty cool. I like it for what it's worth. It's a pretty good exclusive. I'm not sure if this gets rated highly among Dreamcast fanatics. I don't know. Oh man, I didn't want to. Urgh. You just gotta really get a good feel for this racing game. But there's nothing really objectionable about this. I like Toy Racer for what it's worth. The creativity really adds to the points in my book, because I like interesting, creative efforts like this, and you don't really see game variety these days like you do back in the day. If you trust in the arrow will tell you what's up. But if it had a different little schematic, a different little way to show you about the checkpoints, or if they just kind of got rid of the checkpoints and made the stages a little bit more linear, track-based or whatever, this game would be slightly better. But yeah, just that whole Crazy Taxi arrow, like I'm saying, is just kind of a strike against this. This is going to keep it from being a 10 out of 10 or anything like that. I'm not sure if there's any kind of real story mode or anything, but this is just a really cool, interesting European exclusive, and I kind of hate that it wasn't put out in the States, because I bet you this game would have been a hit. It's kind of a sequel to Toy Commander, and that game has its fans. So yeah, this game has a lot of the same music. I don't know if you can hear that, but I'll turn it up just for the sake of the review. It goes down, down, down. this game's not too terribly difficult. I can see where it could be really awesome playing with people. Now, let's see the Ethernet, and if it's not going to work with my LAN cable BBA, my broadband adapter, then I don't know what to tell you, but I'm kind of still on the fence about what I'm going to rate this. It's, I don't know. Let's look at other homepage. That's an internet thing. You got to be online. Options. I don't know. Network, local, training. It seems like this game doesn't really have any story. It's just kind of, you know, straightforward. It's like, hey, here's the game. It's a racing game. Go for it. Yeah, I had to switch consoles up, and here I am booting up some Gameshark. Now, I'm just leaving this in just to kind of show you how Gameshark works, I guess, when it comes to importing or playing import games, you know what I mean? I had to switch my console because I have the Ethernet LAN cable BBA jammy hooked in. Now, this is a very common thing that pops up with Dreamcast consoles. It's just the internal clock battery needs to be swapped out. But we're not technical wizards, and it doesn't affect gameplay, so we just always select the whatever the game's console thinks that the time is. We're going to, of course, play this burnt version of Gameshark because we don't need the little dongle thing for it, like I've explained before. I love that old school intro. It beats the 3D BIOS. It looks a whole lot more cleaner, more mature. It's more of a streamlined, effective look. It's just very straightforward and to the point. That 3D BIOS intro, boot intro, looks a little bit cheap. I like it sometimes, depending on my mindset. Sometimes this little notice stays on there for the longest time. It just makes you really frustrated. But you just say start game without codes. And then it says, please ensure the game is in the disk drive, so you swap it out. And, yeah, man, you just swap it out. I got a little game case right here. I got my little Gameshark. And, yeah. Let's put Toy Racer in. Cross our fingers. Cross our T's and dot our I's. Just hit the A button. I don't know if there's any kind of timing. Sometimes it doesn't boot games depending on whatever because it's finicky, but it's a way to play import games, so, you know, what are you going to do? I got the LAN cable, Ethernet cable just kind of put in there. Speaking of LAN cables, I used to have my Xbox, and I would use a LAN cable, and we would do LAN parties where we would play Halo. Didn't do it too often, but it was cool that you were able to do it. Man, I got crazy into Halo, man. So let's do some network connecting, dialing. Oh, it's one of those, like, I'm going to be reviewing Quake 3 Arena here soon, and you have to put in your IP address in there. Let me just pause this and see if I can put my IP address and figure out what my IP address is. Because it's stuff that I don't really have to know. Like, I can hook up my PS4 and look at Netflix right now. I can put the Ethernet cable through my Xbox 360 and it'll still access the marketplace for that thing. You know, and I can hook up my Ethernet cable to my Dreamcast and hook up with games and stuff. But I don't know, some games you gotta just put in that IP address or whatever. And like with Quake 3, I'm not gonna be going online with that because it just says put in your everything, put in your proxy number server, put in your IP address, put in your blah blah blah. Ain't nobody got time for that. So I was starting to put in my IP address, and it would only take a certain amount of characters. And then now it says server TCP port number. And this is ridiculous. I'm not going to shuffle around and try to solve all of the world's problems right now and pull Sherlock Holmes, Batman detective, and trying to uncover the truths and mysteries of Atlantis, trying to get my TCP port number because I'm not tech savvy. I don't understand this stuff. Yeah, so this is Toy Racer. I'm just going to play it offline, which is okay. Yeah, I'm just, you know, let's try to play this level. But, yeah, I'm thinking 8.5 because this is just an interesting, awesome looking game. Let's pick a different vehicle. Let's see what all they got to offer. Now, this makes me think of Toy... Oh, man. Toy Story. Is this all we got? Oh, hey, it's kind of cool. I like the, I don't know. It was a cool Technicolor. Makes me think of, like, Laffy Taffy or something, but then I saw that heart, and I'm like, nope. Whoa, that's cool. A little turtle-looking formation. Hey, that's cool. Bulldozer. I wouldn't have met a taxi. Hey, crazy taxi. I was talking about the crazy taxi arrow, so we have to. Yeah. I'm looking for them checkpoints like crazy. And I fell off the side like that because the arrow is really setting me off. You can't really go by the arrow for sure, like 100%. In checkpoints we trust, but it's kind of the only thing that we have to go by. And like I said, these arrows are just frustrating. I don't really want to use boost as much as I can. Oh, you hit A to set traps because I had a thumbtack. Oh man, this one's just kind of maze heavy, right? I want to give this an 8.5. I don't know if I just said that or not. Just because it's creative, original, and awesome. It's an exclusive, so in my mind I'm thinking, oh, there's something special to this game. Europe doesn't have that many exclusives. There's this game called Evil Twin Cyprian's Chronicles, and I have it burnt because the prices are astronomical. There's no way I'm paying that for, like, what? How much is it now? $200 or something ridiculous? No way. But yeah, there's a couple of exclusives, and you know, I think that Europe deserves more than what they got because they didn't get controller variation colors. Like I'm talking about, like the Dreampoint Paint type stuff. I mean, America didn't either, but we had the Sega Sports Console, and we had the blue, green, red, yellow, and gray, smoke gray color variations with the controllers, and I don't think Europe got that. They just had the standard white stuff, but it's kind of ironic because Europe, you know, like the guys from the Dreamcast Junkyard, they're from Europe too, and they have a passion and love for Dreamcast that a lot of Americans don't have. So I feel like people in America kind of don't deserve a lot of stuff that we got. You know what I mean? Do you guys ever feel that way? Like America, like we're just so pampered and privileged and stuff, but at the same time, like circumcision rates are lower in Europe. So it's like you get to keep your foreskins, but you have less creature comforts. But here in America, we got tons of creature comforts, but we're spoiled little brats, and we don't have our foreskins, and we're just kind of like knuckle draggers. There's a lot of dumb Americans, and this is coming from an American. So, Retro, if you can correct me about Canada and provide some insight about Canada, because I'm really kind of curious about that. I think that you know. For being in the NTSC regions and stuff, it's strange that Canada and America are like we're next door neighbors, but I don't know. I think there's like a lack of communication. I really appreciate like Otis Fodder and the Canadians like that. There's a lot of awesome stuff that comes from Canada. I was talking about Trailer Park Boys, and that's a Canadian show too. You know, Canada, the export of amazing things. But yeah, I mean, I guess every region is different, and we all got it good and bad here and there. But let me just get out of this. And oh, it's making you put your... Yeah, it made me do that. But hey, at least it's saved. And it's doing pretty good with the game save, so that's cool. But yeah, this is good old Toy Racer. And, you know... I'm guessing 8.5 is a good place to just kind of leave this because there is no story. The game kind of feels vacuous that way because it's just kind of here's your game, here it is. But it's a good complementary piece to Toy Commander, and we haven't talked about Toy Commander yet because we're, you know, going in order like we do. I don't understand the level design of this one, but like I said, the game is creative enough to keep you interested, and yeah, I'm guessing you can get online, but why would you want to spend all that time calibrating it? Phantasy Star Online is a little bit easier, user-friendly when it comes to hooking it up. But I don't know. I should probably make it a point to try to get these things online because I don't know. I guess you got to be a part of community and be like Dreamcastic PC Wizard, Dreamcastic channel, because he talks to people online and like plays with the Dreamcast Junkyard guys, and all that. And then I'll send a little comment on their little videos and channels, and then they won't respond. I kind of had it in my mind that the Dreamcastic guy was kind of a, he was kind of a jerk. But when I contacted him about buying a Dream Pie, he was very courteous and nice and kind. So I guess, he's good to work with on a business standpoint. Like, he's a good seller, and he provides the Dream Pie service. Because, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have started to play on Phantasy Star Online again. So for that, I'm grateful. But yeah, I don't know. Sometimes Dreamcast people can kind of seem like jerks. Like Adam Koralik kind of seems like a jerk, But I don't know. I'm kind of invisible to these people. Like, there's this guy named Dreamcast guy, and he doesn't even talk about Dreamcast. And he did a review, and he was talking about he was talking about he wanted to talk about all of the Dreamcast games for like an April Fool's video. He was like, you know what? I get criticized for not talking about Dreamcast stuff, so I'm just gonna talk about I'm gonna take the Dreamcast Junkyard book of all of the games or whatever, and rate the games. And he didn't do any kind of videos. He's not doing what I'm doing, which is like actually reviewing the freaking game. And I just think it's really lazy. And this guy, he's got a whole lot more views and a lot of people subscribe to him, but most of his stuff's negative, and I'm just being factual talking about it. Talking about Dreamcast guy. Of course I'm going to criticize him because his name is Dreamcast guy, and then he just wants to talk about everything other than Dreamcast, and then he'll address that he doesn't talk about Dreamcast stuff, and then he'll just read from a guide that already rates these games, and then he just gives his own personal bent on it. He says, oh, I played all these games, or I've beat all these games, and like, I don't know, man, I kind of question that. I don't know, but it's not a pissing contest, man. Hey, if you want to manage your channel that way, that's okay. But yeah, we're getting off on like multiple tangents here, but this is Toy Racer and 8.5 safe assessment, I believe. Let's go for Zebra, because we always followed the Zebra, right? Oh man, I didn't want to do this stage again. But am I able to pick different tracks? Because I'm not so sure if we can unlock different tracks. This is just Championship, where it's the same. I bet you this plays the levels in order. But yeah, do I recommend this game? Yes, it's a good import game, and I recommend it. And we're just talking about the international Dreamcast community, and yeah, PAL games, man. I'll try to set that playlist up. But good times. Thanks for watching.